Hello everybody, Justin with Lucky8 Off-Road, and today I'm here to discuss my arch nemesis of accessories, mud flaps. All right, first of all, if you plan on off-roading your vehicles at the level that we do, going through deep mud, rocks, just give it up now. They're not gonna fit. Well, they'll fit, but they're not gonna stay on long. And if you're oversizing your tires a tiny bit, they're not gonna fit. The mud flaps, in their defense, as much as I hate them, do serve a great purpose, especially on these gloss black trucks, right? So the flap is here and it is protecting the side of the vehicle from rocks, from road debris. Like I said, if you're an off-road guy, you gave up on that a long time ago. But if you do insist on having mud flaps, against my better judgment, I'm going to show you how to install them correctly to give you the most tire clearance, so when you upsize your tires like everybody does, you got the best chance of keeping them attached to your Defender. Roll the intro. First thing you want to do, get the tire out of the way. Second thing is we're going to remove this whole felt liner. Yes, I know you can bend it back and there's shortcuts. This is not a shortcut video. This is a long-term, I want them to stay attached even in rough conditions video. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little poppers. I'll show you if you haven't seen them before. Essentially, that's what they look like. You, when they're closed, get in there, your popper tool. Everybody's got one of these by now. Loosen that up. I'm gonna get those out, and then way down here, I'll bring the camera in so you can see it. It's an 8mm head bolt. We're gonna get that out of the way. We're gonna get this whole felt liner out. Here's the 8mm. It's right next to 1, 2, 3, and down coming from the outside of the car. Let's get that out of the way. Start working these clips. Next up, it's time to get this lower trim piece off. I like to reach my hand under and just gently work it back. And then the top, there's these 2 plastic clips that snap. Don't worry, you're gonna wanna get new ones for that. They look just like this. With the trim piece off, it is now time to drill some holes. In the kit, you're going to get a template. We're gonna cut that out. With your little paper template cut out, you want to align this dotted line right here at the bottom, right at the curve, and align the side. What we're going to do is I'm going to get some tape. We're going to tape it down. We're going to drill it out, and we'll mount the mud flap to the side. You want a 23/64 drill bit. I'm just going to mark it. Same thing here. They want you to drill 2 holes. Let's get the paper off. We can drill right through. All right, I'm going to clean that up and we'll mount the mud flap. Okay, we want to pull off these little yellow condoms. This one wants to stay on. Okay. Align like so. Now, tip number 1, you'll have a little bit of play. We want to keep the mud flap as close to the plastic trim as possible, pushing down on it like that. Tip number 2, they tell you to use these tiny little washers, like so. In my opinion, with that hole that was recommended, the washer isn't grabbing enough. So what we do is we've got some oversized stainless washers, put those on, then a nut. Same thing down here. That way, when I tighten it up, it's going to have a much better bite. With the outer portion tightened down, and don't go crazy. You want it to be taut, but you're not trying to crush the bolt through the plastic. It's time to install this on the side of the vehicle. You're going to need 2 plastic little clips. They are not included in the kit, but we do sell them separately. I would buy a bag of 10 because they hold this whole car together and all these little trim pieces, so it's nice to have extra. I'll get those installed right now for you. Told you I had a bunch of them kicking around. And then let's get this on the side of the car. The only real trick to getting this on is making sure you align all of the tabs and pieces. These large white ones go down here, and then the little plastic ones go up here. Got flares on it, need to get behind, this needs to be behind the flare, so it's a little bit of a goof around to get them on. All right, here's the real trick of all of it. The mud flap is held in from the factory instructions with 2 bolts. It's held into part of that plastic right here and part of the plastic that runs along the sill. So if I just randomly drill a hole, this is gonna be able to flap and catch my tire. If I got an oversized tire, forget it. It's just gonna grind until it melts. And then if you're off-road or going to your ski lodge or the beach, anything that gets in between these 2 starts to build up and wants to pull it apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it pushed back all of the way and then drill our 3 holes, not 2. Instructions say 2, but we're going to do 3 and drill into this piece of aluminum right here. That's going to help keep this mud flap pulled back and secure it. It's going to be really hard to rip off. I'm sure some of you guys can do it, but man, with that locked in place with the extra bolt we're going to show you, you're going to be in good shape. I'm going to drill these 3 holes and then I'll show you how we bolt them up. Just giving you guys a closer look. Mud flap out of the way. There's the original plastic trim. They want 1 bolt there. There's the aluminum piece with the hole in it, and everything's pushed together. We're going to be able to grab onto that and tighten it up. On to the mounting portion. We have a reinforcement bar that slides in above this piece of plastic here, like so, with the lip facing out. On this one, since it's the smaller mud flaps, it's going to extend a little bit. That's normal. There we go. Bolt, special washer, flat washer, and nut. I'm going to start on the inside. Next up, we're going to use a longer bolt, like so. And the reason we're doing that, let's get that little washer spaced off, washer, is so we can go through the mud flap, through the reinforcement bracket, and through that aluminum piece. And that aluminum piece is very strong. It's going to hold your mud flap on for quite some time. And then the last one, same thing, bolt, plastic washer with the offset in it, washer and nut. That one's real easy. It just kind of goes through the mud flap and grabs that reinforcement bracket to give that outer edge some structure. Okay, now we're going to tighten it down. We're going to use a 10 mil socket and a 10 mil wrench. Key feature here is, again, there's some play. You want to hold that in on the aluminum one, tighten that down first. It is rubber and plastic, don't go crazy. You just want it to be snug, but you definitely want to take advantage of pulling it all the way back. Once it's all tightened up, I'll bring the camera in, but in order for me to tighten it, I'm going to have to stand in front. So I'll see you in a second. All right, job done. This is not wiggling anywhere. You've got a better chance of keeping it on the car. And if we have slightly oversized tires, we were able to bring that back a little bit to make a world of difference. This little upgrade kit's gonna be available on the site. So when you order the mud flaps, it'll just be a little couple $1 upgrade to give you the plastic clips and the hardware needed. All right, oh, by the way, yeah, you gotta put all the other stuff back together, but that's really easy, the 9 clips and the 8 mil screw. I'll do that and see you guys in the next one.